Hello, hello, friends. This is Janice, and this is another Wednesday for OnPoint Conversations with Janice Jimenez at your lunch hour. So, how are you doing? It's the end of March. Can you believe it? We are approaching the end of the first quarter. So, let me ask you, how are you doing on your New Year's resolution? Are you still doing it? Are you still on track? Are you still well within your goal limits? Have you been doing my quick little tidbits on being accountable, productive, and scheduling your days and your weeks so that you can hit your goals a little bit at a time? So, in the later end, you will be able to achieve those seem to be impossible and inachievable goals. So, how are you doing there? I hope you can come in and send me some love, send me some comments, and I would be more than happy to answer your questions if you have any for me today. If not, then that's all right too. I can just keep you company for your lunch hour. And excuse me for just checking, make sure here that I can see all the comments that are coming through to our Facebook channel. But I'm so glad to see you here today. I'm fresh from Dallas, Texas. And I want to just do a quick shout out to the people who have been really, really friendly and hospitable during my stay in Dallas, Texas. So first up is Mr. Gus Mercado. Thank you so much. You picked me up from the airport, showed me around Dallas downtown, and also Fort Worth, and he took me to the stockyards. And this is a historical area within. They raise those longhorn bulls, and they still do amazingly. Still up to this moment, they still do stocks exchange using the bulls and the cows and all the other livestock. And my goodness gracious, it's so amazing to kind of go back in time and see how the days and how they do things back then. But apart from that, I also enjoyed their local food, uh, Texas style barbecue, Texas style steaks, and they're so yummy and fulfilling. But also the little shops because I like to shop. So I went into the little gift shop and then browsed through the items. Got some souvenirs for myself and my family. I have this little thing of buying little magnets for my magnet wall. I don't have enough space in my refrigerator, but put that on my magnet wall just to kind of document where I've been and where we've been as a family too. So each time you see that, you revisit those memories, and those memories are really, really priceless, especially for busy people, busy family, busy moms, parents, and entrepreneurs that are doing their day-to-day work. And then let's not forget to make sure that we also do the little things in life that make life meaningful, so we don't forget those things. So in Dallas, oh, and also love Baroque and all the chamber members of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Dallas, Texas, and their chair is Mr. Rob LaRoque. I hope I said that properly. Thank you so much for your hospitality yesterday on my last day. He also toured me around Dallas, took me to some fancy Texan style restaurant, and oh, would you believe it? You know, when things are happening your way, the universe really does things to make it happen for you. He so happened to be have a meetup with some of the real estate professionals in Dallas. So guess what? That's just right up my alley. So I said, take me with you. So we were able to meet people who are real estate agents, notary, bankers for commercial and residential lending, as well as title officers. Can you believe that? That's just like stars aligning, and I had nothing to do with it. It was just fate. It was just destiny, and was able to make new friendships and new connections. So that's what happens really when you're like in tune to your energy. Everything is energy. Money as energy. Are you in tune to money's energy? Are you in tune to your focus, to your goals? Are you tuned to the services that you offer? Are you tuned to the your your goals that you started at the beginning of the year, because this is about the 90-day mark. This is when people fall off the wagon. This is when people said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds by 90 days. But are you still on that wagon? Are you still doing it? And if so, I'm pretty sure you've seen some improvement if you've been consistent. And that's my whole point for this talk today, is that I came from Dallas with a whole bunch of world leading professionals and entrepreneurs for an entrepreneur and leadership summit. And that's one takeaway. One major takeaway is we have to be persistently consistent. That is like the word that we need to know in our mindset Bible, within our day-to-day activities, that we have to be persistently consistent with everything that we do, for our marketing, for our client reach out, for our networking, for our accounting. Everything has to be consistent. That's why also here, when I decided that I'm going to talk to you, to open myself up to you, sort of like an open office hours with Janice, every Wednesday at lunch hour, I'm going to be here for you. So if I'm not, I'm going to make sure that somebody else can take my place for the moment, or at least give you still some value at this hour, because this is my commitment to you. So if you're here right now, thank you so much for watching. And if not, watch later on at the replay. But again, I want to circle back to the word persistently consistent, and also on the energy, because I have a notebook full of notes coming from that summit that we have. And boy, oh boy, it's full of golden nuggets. And I'm so excited to share some with you. And I'm hoping that it's also going to help your life as well too. So on the first day, I did a reel, and I shared the few things that really got me into, just getting focused on what I wanted to do coming to that summit. And the first thing that I learned is that, we got to set our ourselves up for everything, right? And we got to be ready for everything. But oh my goodness, I can't find my notes now. Hold on one second here. All right. So all right, I'm on my page now. So first thing is, as an entrepreneur, I am a work in progress. You are a work in progress. Every day we are a work in progress. We will never be completed. It's like a mom's job, right? A mother's job is never completed. It's always going to be day in, day out. You don't see retirement in that part of life, right? So you as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is always going to be a work in progress. That's what you need to understand. Once you stop trying to learn things, once you start trying to innovate yourself, then you start to not have meaning. You actually start dying, and in a sense of, there is no more purpose for you to be going around here on earth. And it's almost like understanding the fact that every day, no matter how old we get, it's a learning experience. We always have to learn new things every day, otherwise we start dying. You've heard that probably in the past before. So we're always going to be work in progress. I'm not saying that your business is also going to be always a work in progress. They will always be improvements in the business. But also, if you are the one who are thinking of, say, having an exit plan later on, so if you're one of those people who wanted to maybe start a business, grow the business, and sell it later, then that's an exit plan. And then after that, what do? You again try to do something else. That's still work in progress. So it's just how you take this information and process it in your brain, in your mind, and in your being, right? And then number two mark that I put on my notes is persistence and failure. Persistence plus failure equals success. So again, you gotta be persistent, and you have to include failure in the equation. No successful business person, entrepreneur, a influencer, a billionaire had said that they were just, progressively lucky. They were born lucky. they had all had encountered a certain degree of failure, and maybe many failures. I've read a lot of biographies and memoirs of these very popular names and business in the industry, and I have not found a single one that said that I did just one thing and poof, I just became wealthy because I just did everything right. So no, no, don't worry about not getting everything perfect the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth. I mean, take you several tries. Imagine, Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times, he said, before he was able to perfect electricity. So, just mind that. And again, every single time that you fail, you learn something. As per Einstein said, you gotta, you can't be doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. So by every failure, by every bump in the road, just learn something from that, and you try to do things just a little bit differently every single time until you perfect the method, perfect your craft, and perfect everything. Again, it's never going to be perfection either too. I don't think we're ever going to get there, but life is always that pursuit of it. It's not always about getting there, it's the pursuit, it's a journey. So that's how we enjoy ourselves in our life and in our businesses. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I appreciate you being here. And please go ahead and send me some comments, questions, suggestions. I can probably bring you up on the air if you'd like to share some thoughts with me on this. Okay. Um, and I also have this book, and it's again and again. I would like to share with you that if you really want to be successful in any field, in an entrepreneurial journey, please be a person that is well read. I mean, you read a lot of books, you become somebody who always searches for knowledge. There's also, if you don't have time, there's audio books that you can read, and they're popular in Kindle and audiobook and all that stuff. But I really suggest at least you read the Bibles, these fundamental books that all of these successful people that I've come to know, maybe have come to meet, have all in common, have read, right? So have you read the Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich? If not, please do, right? Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. That is the entrepreneur's Bible. That is not only just the small entrepreneur, but everybody who went up there have read probably several times over the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And then there is a book by Kiyosaki, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that's all about changing your mentality, because sometimes we got to break through what we've been taught when we were young, and how we've been programmed, and that manner of mindset that we have. Um, Kiyosaki goes over that in the book. And for you to become successful, you got to change a lot of our mindset. I mean, culturally, as Filipinos, and I would attribute this movement by my very best friend, Ellen Samson. She always tells us that, hey, we Filipinos, particularly, we have been brought up thinking that all we need to do is to go to school, learn from the teachers, and then become what? Become very good employees, making other people rich and making other people's businesses survive and thrive. But we were never taught to be your own business person, your own business owner. We were never to be taught to be entrepreneurs. We were never really taught to go out and go after our own dreams. So that's something that's innate to us being Asians, is that we were meant to excel at school, and become really find a good job, right? Finding good jobs is something that it's always innate to us. And yes, Faust, I'm live actually, so I don't know what that is. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm being offered a golden nugget here of peanut brittle. So anyway, so some sustenance. This is my lunch for my lunch hour. So I'm hoping you got that. So I got kind of off track with that distraction there. Another one is the Franklin Covey's 7 Habits of Successful People. So there's also, it also comes with a workbook. So that's also something that you can read up and then pick up the workbook after that. And those have, that's got a lot of tips and just keep you focused, and also have the calendars, goal settings, and all those measures that you can apply in your way of doing every day, the day-to-day business, and keep you organized. So that's the Seven Habits by Stephen Covey. So I also recommend something much more over the fundamentals. It's about being successful, but spiritually. So it's not only about being physically successful, or you got to where you are financially in your business, but also, are you successful in sense of spirituality? So if sometimes it doesn't correlate, sometimes those two worlds are different, so you don't really have inner peace. There is this book by Deepak Chopra, and it's called the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, and I recommend that reading as well too. It really kind of opened my mind, changed my mind on how I perceive things, and how I give myself to others. So that way, you as a person, not just a business person, you as a person would learn to become happy and joyful, and just open to the goodness that the universe can give back to you, because it's not all about the receiving, it's all not all about the income that you receive, but it's also what you put out there in the world, and it comes back to you in another sense, in another form, that that really enriches your life. So those things, and I share more books as we go through our weekly talks here. But I those are at least the most important things that I think that we should all be reading. And just yesterday, last night on the plane, what I was reading was The Obvious by Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh is actually our mentor, my mentor, and he runs the Power Team International, and he ran our workshop or summit for 4 whole days from 9 to 9, just breaks for lunch and dinner, but it was just on and on and on and on. But this man has a lot of powerful information, and he's had helped multi-million-dollar companies get to next level. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible who he rubs shoulders with and who he mentors himself. So it is a really enriching book. It's called The Obvious by Bill Walsh. I'm pretty sure it's also available in Amazon. And the last thing that I would like to recommend and ask for your support is my book is coming out on Friday. It is a collaboration book. It's, I think, for 13 authors, including myself, that have shared their stories. It's called Transforming Pain into Purpose. So, this is about women's triumphant stories of success from possibly a traumatic experience that they have, or something in general that is not um, favorable, that it's not, well, the word I'm looking for really is, we thought that it wasn't worth sharing. We thought that it was shameful. It's very painful to share. It's not something that could be helpful to others if we share it out loud. But really, we come to realize that sharing these stories really empower us and empower others. And if there was shame, it's not yours. It's, you'll divert it outside, you divert it to the person, that needs to be shameful of the actions that they have done in the past. But, and all in all, I mean, I think the the root of why the women are doing this is really just to share their story, in hopes that one person, somebody in the world, would read it and pick up something from it, and say, if she has been there and done that and became successful despite of that, then I can do it too. So me being a part of these group of courageous authors gives me a good honor and pride to be able to share my story. And I tell you, no one's ever heard of this story before that I'm going to share. But I'm hoping that it empowers you. I'm hoping that it gives you an insight that really, if you don't let adversities get you or take over you, you can get out of that. You can rise triumphantly out of that. And in my case, it really was a lot of faith that got me through that situation. So then that's when my turning point in my life was really understanding what it is that universe wanted me to do, God wanted me to do, my purpose in life, and how should I be facing life from then moving forward. So I hope you guys can support myself and these other women's stories, and our goal, and actually our beneficiary for this book is the Water Wellness Project, which will help um, give potable drinking water to the areas of the world that they don't have access to safe drinking water. So we're not going to be making money from this, but your support will definitely be helpful to those women, children, and families all over the world that does not have access to clean water. We take it for granted where we're at here. Water is ever ready. Water is in a faucet. Water is, we can purchase it anywhere. But in some places in the world, it's not always accessible. They don't always have access to clean water. They get sick, their quality of life gets compromised, and some people don't even survive. So please, I urge you, if you can share your blessings and show some support tomorrow, not tomorrow, Friday, our release in Amazon for our book Transforming Pain into Purpose, the triumphant stories of women and her empowerment. And I will share the code with you on Friday as soon as it comes out in Amazon. So please come back to my page. It will all be there. If not, if you want, you can text to Regal, Regal, to 26786. Text Regal to 26786, and you'll be on my list. You can opt in, and then I can share some information with you on that, and also book a call with me through there too. So that's just the number you need to remember is 26786, and then you just text the word Regal, and my information will go through along with my calendar links. So if you want to have a few minutes to chat with me, I would gladly do that for you with you. Okay, so that's the second one. And then the third one, well, we really went into, schedule your success or plan your failure. So that goes back to what I said in the beginning of this live cast, is that we got to set our goals. We need to know where we're going. We need to know how to cut that into little portions, so it's a chunkable set of goals and activities that we can do and accomplish every day to get closer to our goals. Otherwise, if you don't plan and you just say, in our Tagalog terms, bahala na si Batman, or que sera sera, that's not going to work. In a business, that's really you getting ready to fail, because without a plan, there's only failure. Okay, so I think we all got that. You heard it several times over and over and over again, but you know what, those are fundamental things, really. And sometimes because we hear too much, we don't really digest it, we don't listen. So again, plan everything, be conscious of how you use your minutes during the day. So in my case, I've tried to really be keen on how I use my hours and my minutes and my days, so that's equally distributed to the things that I wanted to complete the most: my goals, my businesses, my relationships, my family, my faith. All of that comes into the plan. Again, if you just kind of wake up every day and say whatever happens happens, well, then nothing is going to happen to you. No one's ever became successful just waiting for something to fall on their lap, and lo and behold, you know experience success. So that doesn't happen that way. So just so that becomes more engraved in your mind, we really need to plan it, we need to envision it. And so that's the another thing that I want to go next is we got to have clear vision and mission for our business. Even if our businesses are small, you need to know exactly what your vision and mission is. Some people, even myself, admittedly, I didn't really know the difference, the core difference of having a mission versus vision. So these are two different things actually. So your vision is where you want to be. What is that keeps you, that makes you um different? What is that gets you up and gets you going for your company? That's your vision. What do you see in 5-10 years from now? What really is the end game for your business? That's your vision. To get there, you need to know how to get there, and that's your mission. In order to get to the vision, that this is the mission. Say for example, in my business, my vision, and it's and I've written it down because I never really have in the past. I don't have big enough a wall space to put that in there, but it's always just being just in my notebooks, in my corporate documents, what my vision and mission was. But now it's becoming really clear to me, and I know it's ambitious, but my vision is to become the first minority owned, most respected brand in the real estate industry in the Philippines. In the Philippines and in the United States, mostly in the United States. But I just said that because I think I something, a thought just came to my mind, and I remember Philippines. But yes, let me say that again. It's my vision is to the for Regal to become the first minority owned, most respected brand in the real estate industry in the United States. You see how that's kind of really clear? It's clear, and I know that it's far fetched and it's far reaching, but you know what? You got to aim high. It's almost like the goal that you set for yourself. And having a vision is free. Nobody's going to charge you for having that vision. Nobody's gonna is going to criticize you for having that vision. That is your vision for your business, right? And so how do you get there is your mission. How many people do you need to service to get there? What kind of feelings those your customers need to feel to be the most respected real estate company in the United States. So that's your mission. That's a vision and your mission. If you need more clarity for that, I can help you kind of digest your business so you can have a clear vision and mission. Okay, that's one of the things I can help you with. So again, you can text to 6786. Text Regal to book a call with me if there's something that you want me to help you with. Okay. And then let's see what else I learned. For goal setting, you just have to write them down also. So that way you have a constant reminder of what your goals was, where last year, last month, last week, and yesterday. So where were you on that one? Check them off. There's always a satisfaction that comes after you checked off a certain goal, but also that also gives you the opportunity to change it to a new one once you hit that goal. So again, it's an ever changing goal setup, right? It's not going to be constant, it's not static, but it's always evolving. Once you hit a goal, you again change that to the next goal that you have. So it's not like, oh, I'm done with that, I'm good, I'm set, right? That's not the way to succeed. I mean, maybe that's for you, but for the most part, that's not the way you can continue and maintain your business. And then the other things is how do you beat your competition? Let me ask you this. How do you beat your competition? I mean, every field and industry, I'm pretty sure at this point in time, you know that you're not alone, right? Unless you're a pioneer of something so unique and different and nobody else have thought of until now. Most of us are in fields wherein we have tons and tons of competition. and some of our competitions are friends or relatives. So ask yourself, how are you different from them? How are you different from your competition? How can you one up them? How can you be special? What is that unique ability, superpower, if you may? What is that talent that the other person didn't have, the other business don't have? So try to kind of incorporate that in how you do your business, how you put your vision together, and how you put your mission together. So it's really really important to be conscious of that. And really, if it boils down to this, when you have a client, if you have customers, and you give them a service or a product and you give them great service and they're all happy, the way you bring yourself up against the other competition is you do it consistently. So that's kind of a word too that I learned, that I should really really use more in the way I do my everyday things is consistency. It's just it's non-negotiable in your business. You got to be consistent with everything. If you are doing phone calls, you got to be consistent with that. If you're doing promises to your clients, you got to consistently do that as well. And you have to be consistent with how you provide those services. Like, say if you're in a restaurant business, what happens if your menu changes all the time? What happens if your cook changes all the time? So every time somebody comes in through your restaurant, your dish doesn't taste like the dish when the first time they were here before. So there's got to be consistency, and with that there's formula, there's recipes and things like that. And then that's a little more into the details of your business. But in a broader sense of things, consistency is key. Customer care consistency is also key. So you can continue to service those clients over and over again. If not with them, is that they can refer you to their other networks. And so you can survive any kind of market climate with referrals. So again, that helps your business thrive, and that gives you a level up from the other competition, is that because people know you're consistent and you're always going to be there and you're always going to help them and you're always going to give them same exact satisfactory services that they received the last time, you won't lose those clients. In fact, you will gain more clients for that. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. So time check, we're halfway through the mark. So I think now I'm going to share with you what's going on in our market, right? In our real estate market. So that's all I have for you for business tips and strategies for today. So this time I'm going to share with you, first of all, what is the mortgage rate for today? Who wants to know what is the mortgage rate? Because we are your real Regal Home Loan Servicer. We are an in-house lender as well as broker, so we can shop the best rate for you and your clients, and we treat you like a person, not a number, because we're small enough and big enough, but not too big that you don't get personalized services. So let's see, what is the rates today? Here we are. It is 6.44 on a 30-year conforming. On a 30-year jumbo, 6.5.75. 30-year FHA, 6.349. 30-year VA, 6.08. 30-year USDA, 6.31. 15-year conforming is 5.629. Now, I give this because this is the published rate. It doesn't always mean that it applies to you. You may have a little bit lower. You may also have a little bit higher or a lot higher rate, because it all depends on your qualifications. And if you have other dings and other items in your credit, it could definitely change up all these numbers. So take a note of that, okay? And for those of you who are wondering if it's a good time to buy right now, well, let's watch this. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. But really, these are just these advertisements or these public service advertising is just a guide for you. But really, you really need to talk to your home loan professional or your loan officer, and for that matter, to determine whether or not it is a good time for you to buy. Because me being in this industry for almost 2 decades now, people come in at any point of their lives thinking that I want to buy a property. Is it seller's market? Is a buyer's market? Is a good time for me to buy? It's a good time for me to sell. Really, what it boils down to is you. Really boils down to, is this the right time for you? Because for all we know, it could be depression repair. My gosh, I can't talk anymore. Maybe I need that little peanut brittle that was given to me earlier. But for all we know, it could be recession and nobody else is buying, but you have the perfect circumstances that makes you it a perfect time for you to buy, right? And I always say it is when your stars align. Most of it does not come, most of the factors does not come from the outside, it comes from you, right? I can start with, do you have income right now? Have you been on your present employment for 2 years or more? If you're an entrepreneur, how are you going to get this to work? Because these things that I just showed you, these are more for the conventional buyers or for the conventional people who want to refinance. They are based on wages, right? So if you are an entrepreneur and you are a 1099 holder, or you have businesses, you're paid via your LLCs, your corporations, or your S corps, or what have you, this might not apply to you at all. So, with your job, have you been there long enough, right? Will you be buying how much farther from where you work? Is your job remote? Right? So a lot of the corporations are now okay with people working from home. So I guess you can go as far as you want as long as you can qualify or certain that your job can be done, or your HR can prove that you are, yes, a remote worker, meaning you can work anywhere in the world. And then, how is your credit history? How is your credit score? It still matters at this time. And a lot of us still are kind of hazy on how to fix credit. It's very, very easy to, you know, break your score or to damage your scores, but it's really, really difficult to gain back momentum from a fall or a downturn of your scores. So that's one of the most important factor in obtaining a home loan is your credit score. And unfortunately, let me break the news for you. If you add your utilities and whatnot, with all the things that they're telling you, oh, increase your credit score by adding your utilities on your credit report, that does not help you much with buying a house. Sometimes it's even detrimental because you know what? Your debt to income ratio goes higher. Okay. Or sometimes we have to kind of recalculate backwards. It makes it harder for the underwriter to underwrite your loan because, oh, we have to exclude this one and not this one because this one's an utility. Because, we don't look at your utilities as part of your expenses when we calculate the debt to income ratios when you apply for a loan. So talk to a mortgage lender, banker, broker first before you do stuff like that to your credit. I know it's tempting because there's a lot of advertising out there. Oh, it may fix your credit this way. It's only going to cost you this much. You don't have to, have upfront money or going to consolidate your bills and things. Please, if you are in one way or another plan to buy a property or a house, before you do something like that, please consult a professional first. I'm always ready to answer you quick calls and phone calls, but it doesn't have to be me. But please do yourself a favor, don't do anything drastic like that when you're trying to buy a house. And more importantly, I just recall, please don't do anything at all with your credit Once you're already in a transaction, in an escrow, in a refinance, none of that stuff. Don't do that. Don't buy a car. Don't open a new credit card. Don't open a new card from casino just because you have perks and things. Why while you are in a transaction? Okay, just don't. Okay, because that could mean a decline all on your loan. Okay, so don't do that. It's not only not advisable, but please don't do that at all. Okay, because I'm saying that because I just remembered have encountered those scenarios in my line of business, and it's really hard to get out from that. And so it could also mean that you can't buy this house at the end of the day. So let's not do that. Okay, so another things on your credit, I'm just going to give you a video to watch because it's a little bit more compact and we have more information. Okay, here we go. Where is it? I hope this is it.
Here are Here are 10 tips for first-time homebuyers. Number 1, start saving now. If you have direct deposit through your employer, consider putting part of your paycheck directly into your savings account, or set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings account every time you're paid. Find ways to reduce spending too. Skip the coffee shop, eat out less, no shopping sprees. Number 2, talk to a mortgage broker. You need to know your down payment options. Many homebuyers believe that 20% down is the only way to go. However, there are many lenders that allow a small down payment than that, sometimes 3%. A local mortgage broker can discuss your option. Number 3, protect your credit. Do not do any large purchases. No surprises. Number 4, once approved, find your perfect neighborhood. Is it close to the conveniences you need? Parks, stores, are the schools highly rated? Is it a low crime area? All this can affect your home's value down the road. Remember, you can always make changes to your house, but you can't change its location. Number 5, don't sweat the small stuff. If you prefer hardwood over carpet or you don't like the color of the walls, don't let it be a deal breaker. These cosmetic items are relatively easy to fix and allow you to put your personal stamp on the home. Number 6, don't be afraid to negotiate. Some sellers are really motivated to sell, and you can use this to your advantage. From much needed home repairs to closing costs, you are fully within your rights to ask the seller, with the help of your realtor, to help pay for them. And if they're anxious to sell, they may just say yes. Number 7, start a home decor fund. Designing your living space is one of the best parts of home ownership, yet filling your home with furniture and other items may be financially challenging. Try starting a separate fund designated for new furniture, art, and other things that help turn your home yours. Number 8, be present at your home inspection. Make sure every space in your future home is accessible and thoroughly evaluated. Don't be afraid to ask your inspector to check for additional things that may not be on their list. This is a place you're planning to call home. It's up to you to ensure everything checks out. Number 9, don't forget about closing costs. Your down payment isn't the only money you need up front. You'll also have to budget for closing costs, which is typically 2% to 5% of your loan amount. Your seller may agree to pay all or some of the closing costs to move their house to sold status. Find a local mortgage broker who can help negotiate on your behalf. And number 10, keep your finances consistent. Lenders like to see consistency when you apply for a mortgage. So, to help ensure a smooth application review, don't make any major purchases, don't change or quit your job, and don't withdraw or deposit large amounts of money in and out of your bank account. Your mortgage broker can give you more tips. If you have any more questions or you're ready to apply, please give us a call at 1-833-33-REGAL.
Yes, so we're back, and thank you for watching that short video. That's just quick tips for the first-time home buyers and, well, repeat home buyers at that. So if we have any questions, let's just talk. My number is on the bottom of the screen, 26786. Text the word REGAL to 26786, and we can talk about how we can help you out. And for the last few minutes of our broadcast, I want to invite you to this Friday's event. It's called the Pinay Power Business Panel Digital Workshop and Mixer Women's History Month Celebration by the FACCSLAA. That's going to be in Kumo, USA, in downtown LA. That is in the same building where our consulate office is. So you guys are all welcome to come join us. It starts at 6 p.m. and it will be broadcast over Kumo. You know the Kumo app you have on your phone? Yes, that is it. And if you want to learn how to use that and how to leverage Kumo for your business and for your personal profiles, come on over. We can help you start an account. We can help you how to navigate it, and we can help you how to again leverage it to be used for your business and meet us over there. I happen to be one of the panel speakers along with Miss Ellen Samson. She is a founder of the Coalition of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce of the now nationwide COFAC, and also the COFAC Foundation. She is also CEO of American Geriatrics and American Care Pro, and she has been a mover and shaker in our industry as not our industry, our community as a leader and an organizer. So she definitely is one powerhouse woman that we all look up to. Tessa is a powerhouse by on her own right as well too. Let me tell you that about her. Tessa is she is a ultimate fangirl. She is a K-pop fangirl at heart, and she has actually turned her passion into a programming powerhouse. She brought her love into Kumu, building the K community through her original show K Quiz, and now extending to the multiple shows she's programmed and hosted through Kumu USA and One Down, most notably Chismis, the game show, and recently Healthcare OK. So I don't know if I said it correctly, but it seems like healthcare and karaoke fused together. Sounds fun. So we get to meet her too on Friday on the 31st, again, in the Kumo, KUMU, sorry, KUMU headquarters in downtown LA. Let me bring up the address here for you if you guys are just listening to me right now. Kumo in Los Angeles. And this is brought to you by the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of South Bay, Los Angeles area. So I'll have that brought over here in a minute. But before I do that, because I'm still looking, I also wanted to share with you our charity And I shall see you again next Wednesday. Don't forget, please, please stay safe, love each other, and live life regal. This is Janice Jimenez, your real estate gal. See you again next week. Bye.